Macmillan Audio presents A Cold Highland Wind, written by Tasha Alexander, narrated for you by Bianca Amato. Wee, modest, crimson-tipped flower, thou's met me in an evil hour, for I maun cross among the stour thy slender stem. To spare thee now is past my power, thou bonny gem. Robert Burns, To a Mountain Daisy. 1. Emily. Cairnfarn, Scotland, 1905. At first glance, blood doesn't stand out on tartan. At least not on the tartan worn by the dead man sprawled next to a loch on the Highland estate of my dear friend Jeremy Sheffield, Duke of Bainbridge. It blended into the red wool of his fly plaid, hardly visible until I looked closely. Looking closely wasn't pleasant. The man's face, bloody and bruised, offered a chilling vision of his final moments, which must have been brutal and painful. I would have given anything to have kept my sons from seeing him too. This was not the way we'd expected our holiday to start. The pastiche of Scottish culture, popularised by Queen Victoria, never appealed to me. I don't object to a riot of brightly coloured tartan or the skirl of the bagpipe, but rather to the idea that English royalty should be Scotland's cultural ambassadors. The region, rugged and sublime, deserves better. It's full of contrasts and complication, its beauty simultaneously harsh and soft, a place better understood by its native population than imported aristocracy. I grew up on my parents' sprawling estate in Kent, next to Farringdon, the seat of the Duke of Bainbridge. The Duke's elder son, Jeremy, and I were inseparable as children. We raced horses, we climbed trees, we caused no end of trouble. Although I primarily spent time with Jeremy at Farringdon, it was not the family's only domicile. Among their other possessions were Bainbridge House in London, Woodsford, a cosy 200-room hunting lodge in Yorkshire, and Cairnfarn Castle, deep in the Scottish Highlands. I'd always loved the castle. The idea of it, anyway. I hadn't seen it because Jeremy's father despised the place for reasons that were never articulated in my presence. It had something to do with the 13th Duke, Jeremy's uncle, who had refused to marry and hence never provided an heir. When he died, his brother inherited the title, and after installing his aunts there to live, the 14th Duke never went back. Jeremy and I hatched periodic schemes to flee north and use Cairnfarn as a base to fight unruly Highlanders. We were convinced there were still bands of them hiding in caves ready for battle. But they fell apart for a variety of reasons, not the least of which was a lack of train fare. We rarely argued, but when I read Sir Walter Scott's Waverley and became less sympathetic to the English response to the Jacobite uprisings, Jeremy showered unexpectedly harsh words on me. For 2 weeks we avoided each other. Then he read the book. Shortly thereafter, accompanied by his nanny, he went to a tailor for a complete set of Highland dress, fashioned from the Bainbridge tartan his uncle had designed. His father, offering no explanation beyond muttering something about troublesome children, forbade him from wearing it. When at last I found myself at Cairnfarn...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?